This assignment reviews the Early Head Start program established to benefit family literacy. To review this video, I will use the EWNS format, where E stands for excitement, W stands for worries, N stands for needs, and S stands for stance, steps, and suggestions. Let's begin with excitements. I was very excited to learn about Early Head Start because I have always heard of this program, but did not know much about it. It made me really excited to understand how beneficial they can be to families. I'm glad that the focus on Early Head Start is to provide families with the support they need in order to enhance a child's comprehensive development, early language development, and literacy. I thought it was phenomenal that the program had grown from 68 initial grantees to now more than 650 programs. It is also great to see this program provides so many different services like childcare, parenting education, healthcare referrals, and family support services. The framework pyramid that Head Start follows has proven to be very effective because they target the staff, children, family, and community. It would not be possible to be successful without any one of these four cornerstones. The goal of this pyramid is important because it focuses on the child's competence, which is affected by the support of the positive family services. I think it is great that there are 5 service delivery options that include home-based, center-based, combination, locally designed, and family care. I thought the first hypothesis that Head Start tested was excellent. They wanted to see if their program would impact the child's delivery of supportive learning environment, which in return enhances the child's language and literacy skills. Their second hypothesis was really great to test as well, because they wanted to see if they could promote the child's development in places related to literacy and language. I was excited to see that the knowledge Head Start gained when they were looking at the impact on parental support for their home language and literacy environment at the age of 2 and 3. Studies showed that when parents provided a more stimulating home environment, they had a higher HOME language and literacy score at both of the ages. At age 2, parents were more supportive, and by age 3, they were engaged in more teaching activities. The program went back to see if the mediation of the language had impacted the child at age 3. Studies had shown that the program's impact on the language environment at the previous age contributed to greater impact on the child's language learning at age 3. I was excited to see the impact on parent education, training, and self-sufficiency when the child is at age 2 and 3 were positive. Parents in the program were more likely to be in school or have a job they are committed to. By the time the child was 3, there was a higher trend in employment among the parents. I thought it was great to see that as the child got older, the percentage of parents reading to them went up as well. The study had shown that in these families that were English speaking, the children developed a larger vocabulary, had higher cognitive skills, and their language comprehension went up. I thought it was great to see from the study taken that everyday conversation between parent and child make a huge positive impact on expanding the child's knowledge. When mothers use diverse words and open-ended prompts for information, it increased the child's readiness. The video showed this as well, because the more the parents talked to their child, the more advanced they became. The video showed that the more the parents were involved with their children, the more vocabulary words they knew. They were stronger in their literacy, language skills were better, and they had a more positive outlook on life. Home visits are really successful because they help build the foundation that the children need. This helps them to maintain literacy while receiving support. Now let's discuss some of the worries. I was glad to see that Head Start was successful with both of their hypotheses that they made, but at the same time studies showed that they were not able to obtain these results long term. They looked back at these parents and children 2 years after the program ended, which showed that there was no growth. Parents and children pretty much remained where they had been when the program ended. It worries me to see, in the study that was conducted, white mothers seem to read to their children on a daily basis compared to any other race. That one race would be higher than another instead of each being on the same level is of great concern. In the video, it made me worry to see that when parents have little interaction and few conversations with their children are negatively impacted. The lack of parent interaction increases the potential for children to look at themselves in a more negative manner, which does not help to support their literacy skills. I learned that the timing of experiences is what determines how successful a child will start out with their literacy skills. This worries me because not all children receive the best start or have the best home environment to do so. I think Head Start is an excellent program, but I think it is a shame that children can no longer be a part of the program after the age of 5. After the program ends, it's really hard to determine how well the child retained what they were taught because it's hard to keep up with the students. Let's continue now by discussing my needs and learning more about the Head Start program. I enjoyed reading about the different studies that Head Start did, but I wish I had more background information on the children that was part of this research. The studies gave us little information about them being from a low-income family, but I would like to know more about their home life. Home life is a huge factor when it comes to children and learning. The ideas and theories they presented were fantastic, so I'd like to know how I could get in touch with them to learn more. That way I can pass this information on to people with young children and people who need the help. Another thing I'd like to know about these studies is the consistency of student learning from one group to another. For example, how often were groups of students studied? I say this because the field of education is always changing, and it's important to look at testing the situation time and time again, especially if changes occur within the curriculum. Let's summarize with my stance on the situation. My stance on the knowledge I gained is very positive. I think that Head Start is an excellent program when it comes to improving family literacy. I think it's excellent they have a team of people who are involved and dedicated to helping. I think it's excellent that the program is hands-on and watching the progress the child makes. They make sure that the child is receiving the kind of care needed in order to be successful. My next step is to learn more about the Head Start program to become even more knowledgeable about its impact with child literacy development. By gaining additional information, I could inform parents of young children about Head Start and assist the families in learning about the program. My suggestion would be that the program extend the age of students. This is the only major downfall of the program because the child and parent can only be in Head Start until the child turns 5. If the program increased the age limit, families could continue receiving support and gaining knowledge. This concludes my review of the Early Head Start program. As I worked through the review, I used the habit of mind thinking about our thinking. I found myself reflecting on this habit of mine because the Head Start people came up with a plan on who they were going to test in their study and what topics they wanted to do research on. They not only maintained their plan, but they kept up with it as well. They would go back and look at their same study group a few years later to see if they retained what they were taught. I plan to use this knowledge I gained in the research that I do in the future. I can use this knowledge to organize my thoughts and to stay on the right path. Using this habit of mine, I can see how it will benefit me in the future by examining my thoughts and my way of thinking. I will use this habit of mine to help me better understand myself and my thought process.